Well, good morning. We're in our art gallery this morning here at the library, and we're always working to make the public aware of it. We're so fortunate to have this beautiful community gallery, and everybody in the community, people who paint professionally, people who just decided they would paint because they didn't have anything else to do or wanted a new hobby or something. And so you just call and talk with us and get your name on the list, and we're always glad for you to have a show here in the library. This gallery here was dedicated to our former director, Tony James, and she is just, we think that she just planned and did so many wonderful things when the library was built under her leadership, and we just are pleased to know that this has been dedicated to her because it's her right, and so she needed to be recognized. So we're going to go around the wall. I could tell you a little bit about our paintings today. The paintings, the show that we got this month, we want to run our shows for 2 months at a time, and the paintings for this 2 months is we just put a bunch of them together and used paintings. Each artist provided one painting, and they are artists who have shown for us before or were somewhere else connected to the library. Now, some of them are deceased, one of them is moved, but most of them are right around here. This lovely abstract is by we thought a very well-known artist here in McComb, who is now deceased, Laura Cat Mitchell. And Laura she was an award-winning painter, and she lived to be past 100 years old. And this is one of her abstracts that she gave to the library, and we borrowed it off the wall in the hall to put in our show. I think it's very bright. It just reminds me of her every time I see it. She was really what I call a zinger, and that's what you call a zinger. And then this is a friend of ours, Sherry Wall. Miss Sherry is very active with our Wednesday Friends group, and this is her darling little niece, and I love that picture. The children, the Wednesday Friends came in to look over the gallery. I always encourage them to, and they right away knew, a lot of them knew that was Miss Sherry's niece. Sitting there thinking, I think she's married, getting married pretty soon. She probably think about getting married. I think so. And this is a great artist. This is Pat Legg, and I just love her work. Over the years, I've gotten Pat to paint my mother's old home, and then I got her to paint my dear little house out on 6th Street. And she just does all sorts of work, and I love this one. This is the Circus, Barnum and Bailey, and I thought it was very colorful and pretty. And right next to it is this one. Now this is a real colorful, and this is a surprise. This is done by the children's dentist, Miss Laura, Dr. Laura Jones, Laurie Jones. And I said, goodness, I didn't know Laurie painted. And somebody said, oh yeah, if you ever go in her office down there, she's got beautiful paintings all over the wall. And I said, well, I didn't know that. I guess probably because I don't have any teeth. How about that? Don't tell anybody that, okay? Now, this is what we call, this is done by Mr. Art of Pike County, Mr. Malcolm Allen. I think he probably did that down in New Orleans, but I thought that was just a real witty, real cute picture that he did. And he hung the paintings for us, and whenever we need any advice or we need some help in hanging them, which is often now, we always call Malcolm. And Malcolm is so good. He's been such a friend of the library. He just gets out and works in our yard and trims the hedges and just does a jillion things here as far as here at the library. Now, this is a beautiful picture. This lady teaches up at Southwest. This is Prudence McGee, and I just love that picture. I wrote her a little note this morning. I had heard so many nice things about her, and I finally met her in a little reception that we had last week called the Sip and See for all of our artists, and lots of folks came in to see their work, and I got to meet her. I told her, I said, I know so many nice things about you. I'm glad to get to meet you, and you are nice. She's just a cute girl and an excellent artist. I love that. Now, this is an artist that has moved away. This is Greg Harbison, and I want to cry every time I say he's moved away. But they moved over to Cummings, Georgia. I wrote a little note this morning, and I told him, I said, well, you might have gone away, but we still got your work in our gallery. He was an excellent artist. And now, this is this artist, I'm telling you, you're too pretty to be an artist. This is Ava Madison's work. Isn't that pretty, Calla Lilies? She is an excellent artist from here. And this calla lilies are a real classy flower. I think that's just really beautiful. She used such lovely, vibrant colors, and she's one of our good artists. Now then, this is darling Beverly. Beverly lives out from Magnolia, and you may remember her husband Wilford. They had made many trips to Africa, and he had a lot of all sorts of mounted animal heads and things, and they just had lots of great things that they brought back from Africa. Very interesting. Mr. Wilford passed away not long ago, but his wife, Beverly, teaches art. She has an art school at her home, and she's very, very talented. So she did this one, and then of course everybody knows. As soon as they look at that, they say, "That's Susie Sanders, darling Susie." That looks just like her. Beautiful, warm, friendly, lovely colors. She's just an absolute master at painting flowers, and she's painted so many beautiful pictures and has been so good, gracious to share them with us over the years. We appreciate that one. And then now here is another one that really I love. This lady lived in England for a long time, and then she married an Englishman and then moved back to the United States. And her name was Helen OKeefe. Helen passed away several months ago, and she lived out at Holmesville, had connections with people out there. But it's Jesus with the children, and it's just an unusual picture. And I was so pleased to have it in the show. We borrowed it from some of the family members. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful picture of this boy by one of my favorite artists, Saul Muranyi. I think Saul is just an absolutely marvelous artist. And very often if I need something about a question I have about art or something, I'll ask if I can't get a hold of Malcolm, then I'll ask Saul. If I can't get a hold of Saul, then I ask Malcolm. So you can tell that I worry both of them pretty much. Isn't that beautiful? And Saul does the most beautiful calligraphy. And every once in a while I'll have occasion to get a little note from him. And the note is so pretty and the calligraphy is so pretty that I hang it on my keeper's clothesline in my kitchen. I have a little clothesline in my kitchen. I keep all my pretty notes on, and I always place that because it looks so fine. Now listen, I told you about Laura Cat Mitchell. We looked at that abstract painting over there that I said was a zinger. This is another one of Laura's pictures. Remember, I told you she passed away. I think she was maybe 102 when she died. But she painted that picture for me when she was 100 years old. Isn't that wonderful? I'm telling you, I had taken her, I'd gone to see her. She lived over at Pavilion. I had gone to see her, and she had I had taken a camellia. It was in the spring, and I said, "Lord, look at this pretty camellia I brought you. I wish you had painted this." And when, lo and behold, when I got to see her again, she had painted that picture for me. So that's a real treasure, and I lent that to you, okay, off my wall. And then this is another one. This is a beautiful picture. This is done by Bonnie Whimberly, and Bonnie is another one of our wonderful artists. She lives in Summit, and she's retired from teaching, and she can do almost everything. And she was showing me during our Sip and See gathering to honor the artists this month. She was showing me some absolutely beautiful embroidery work that she had done, and she didn't know it, but I put her on my list to show that sometime too. And this is one of our favorites now. This is by a deceased artist who was just one of McComb's most marvelous teachers in art. This was by Roger Lawrence. And I always wished that I could have got a painting of Roger's, but this hangs in the library, and my boss let us move it from where it was hanging and bring it in here. But he was a wonderful artist. He's passed away, but he was a wonderful artist, and those who took lessons from him said he was a wonderful art teacher too. But that's our little show, and I just want y'all to see it. And thank you for taking the time to listen to this. And come in. We run these shows every 2 months, and I always try to put it in the paper and advertise it on Facebook. And we've started something called Sip and See, and we hope that this is going to do real good for everybody. We kind of had it right in the middle of that 2-month art show period, and you can come in and get something to sip in our darling little Friends of the Library Cafe that the Friends of the Library made for us. Free coffee. You can have a cup of coffee, or you can have water or Coke or Sprite. And when the weather gets cold, we may even cook up some apple cider too. But you come in and sip something and then come down and see what the gallery's got. So you'll be watching, and we'll be hoping to have that again soon. And I think that's just about all. And I think Mr. Scott's just about wore out holding that camera up. Mrs. Scott, thank you so much for the nice things you've done and the nice, things that you've done to make people aware of what the programs here at the library. Y'all, we have a wonderful library. It's an absolute treasure in our community. It's for all of us, rich and poor and black and white and young and old. And we hope you'll come. And if you're not a big reader, just come down to the Friends of the Library Cafe and get a free cup of coffee and sit down and look at the people. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Scott.